What is up, guys? Welcome to the Backs to Riches podcast. I'm your host, Zach Ginn, and in this video, I have Ralph on, and Ralph has done over 19 deals in the past year. And the best part about this is 18 of 19 of them were actual joint venture and JV deals. And you know, I'm a big proponent of JV deals. I do a lot of JV deals, but really what I want to do is talk about somebody who is just not going to say they're taking some of my audience, but like Ralph is finding people in my audience and doing deals with them. And he is finding deals that most people can never get sold. And what I want to do is really, he's doing in his own market. But really, what I want to do in this video is break down how Ralph is doing it, how he did 18 deals pretty much through the wholesaling community, especially with the Facebook group, even the YouTube comments, everything like that, and how you can do the same thing, how you can do 18 deals with everybody that follows me and everywhere around that, so you can start joint venturing deals. Guys, I can tell you straight up, if you want to increase your deal flow, one thing you're probably not looking at is doing JV deals. And Ralph has pretty much did 100% JV deals. So I'm excited to really break down how he did it. You might have seen him before. We did a podcast where we broke down a massive deal he had with Khalil, another wholesaler. He got his first deal. Is amazing. But Ralph, I don't want to take your thunder away. What is up, man?
What's going on, bro?
Awesome, man. So one thing I want to do is like how I got your attention, right? Like how you got my attention is you flashed a big check with Khalil. It was a pretty nice deal, and that was a JV deal. And
Yeah,
so we kind of talked about more about like how much of a check was that?
that was 15,000.
It's a
His deal.
$15,000 deal.
Yeah, with him it was 15,000.
Wow, and that was his first deal. You guys joint ventured on it. I was like, that's pretty cool. And so I was like, all right, let's kind of talk about a story. Khalil's so excited. I loved talking to him on that. And then I was like, how many deals do you do this year? And you're like, 19. I'm like, 19. I'm like, how many of these are like the JVs? And you said 18. I'm like, what? And so this is why I'm like, oh, we're gonna break down how you did this. And we kind of talked a little bit like how you did. And I was like, that's amazing. And so that's why I have you on here. So let's talk about your real estate journey. Like, what is your journey? Who is Ralph Pena? And just talk about your journey getting to wholesaling real estate.
Wow. So I appreciate you always and forever. Ralph Peña out of Philadelphia. I've been in real estate since 2009. I also work a full-time job and always have. I drive the city transit bus. So while I'm working real estate, I do, I buy properties and I do wholesaling, and I still work a 9 to 5. Well, five to 3 o'clock in the morning, pretty much.
Oh my
So
gosh.
yeah.
Wow, dude. All right. So let's talk about your first wholesaling deal. So when was your first real estate wholesaling deal?
Oh my God. I think I want to say 2014.
Wow.
That's when I picked up a guru course. I know I paid to play, and I made the money back on the first deal, and it was I didn't believe it.
Mm.
I didn't believe it. I was out of real estate school. I became a real estate agent, and I was just always working and working. And I even had bought property before I really started practicing real estate, really. So I bought a duplex, lived in one side, rented out the other side, lived rent free. And I just knew I was going to do this. I just didn't know how to do it. So after I bought the course and learned the whole concept of wholesaling, which was pretty basic, um, my neighbor sold me my first wholesale deal.
Wow.
And yep, and I found the buyer. I'm still friends with this buyer to this day. Um, and we actually closed on two. I did two properties from my neighbor, that same neighbor, that
Jeez.
same year. Yep. Um, Closed him out on his first one, showed him right, and I hit the ground running and just didn't stop since.
Wow. Okay. So fast forward, you're doing some deals. In 2022, right? You got 19 deals, 18 were JVs. Can you break down exactly how you're doing these JV deals? Because I just want to get into it, right? Like, how are you able to do this? Like, that seems an insane amount. Most people can't even get 18 deals in a year. How are you getting 18 deals in a year just from JVing?
Well, my main strategy is cold calling. We're on the phones every day from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Wow.
It was just a little tougher in the market that we've been in with, sellers able to get what they want. But for that, I just consistently put myself out there. Always try to jump in, like in your group, I'll jump in and help out, answer a few questions, show what I'm doing, show my video walkthroughs, posting my stories. and just really make solid connections, and help who I can help, and say, hey, if you know somebody, feel free to send them over, and it just started snowballing. I don't think I counted any previous years, but this year I've really starting to dial in on my numbers, and it's just treating people good, making sure everybody taken care of, and that they can trust me for the most part. I know that is the hardest thing. I know when I first started, I would reach out to people. I didn't know who would steal my deal. I would send them the deal, never hear back from them for weeks, and I didn't know what was going on. And I'm like, can somebody just walk me through this, please? So I just became that person I always wanted when I first got started in my career.
Wow.
And I guess
Okay.
people could feel that.
Yeah, dude, I can definitely feel it. It's hard to trust the right person. So
Oh my God.
let's get into the JVing part. So you said cold call. Are you cold calling other wholesalers? Are you going on Instagram to find these? Like, so what's the cold calling side looking like?
The cold call is direct to seller. That's
Okay.
always direct to seller, unless I need to go direct to buyer, which rarely, because I market for buyers more on the mail, and through sphere of influence and things like that, and from having properties, putting them in MLS, buyers contact me, so my number is public, and
Hmm.
they just call me. So when I sell these deals, people call me, and even after
Okay.
I've already sold the deal, I still market it, if I as if I didn't sell it, if it did
Hmm.
never made the internet, and they'll say, "Hey, I want that. It's a smoking one," and I say, "Oh man, you should have called me. It's gone."
Yeah.
So then I lock in, and next one I get, I know who to call because they hungry.
Yeah.
So
Wow. Okay. So how was it just one deal from cold calling then? I guess for 2022.
and that deal took, I think, over 9 months. Most of my
Jeez.
cold calls take over 9 months. I have to really, once I make contact, nurture that lead, follow up. I'm hard on follow up.
All right. And how much was that cold calling deal?
I don't know exactly on that one.
Okay.
That one, yeah, I didn't break down it individually.
All right. Well, let's talk about the nice checks because you sent me some nice JV deals you did, showing the proof, showing the
Yeah,
HUDs. I got to vet people out,
no
and
cap zone.
no cap zone, right? And the one thing I saw when you do JV deals is there's some nice pretty pennies, right? There's some bigger ones, some smaller ones, but 18 of them. That's a big. I mean, that's over one a month, right? That's consistency right there. So let's talk about the marketing for JV deals, right? Because there is marketing involved on it. So for your 18 deals, what are your top ways to find people that are looking to get rid of the property? I mean, sell their deal.
So what I'll do is I'll drive by, call the bandit signs, and make
Okay.
contact, and say, hey, I don't know if you're new to this business, et cetera, et cetera. My name is Ralph. I buy, and if you need help moving your deal, would love to, talk with you if you got time. I don't know where you are in your career. Some are like, get the hell out of here. Some are like, well, this, I just started. I just left this flip this house seminar, and now, I'm hanging out signs. I just really don't know what to do. And I say, hey, let's jump on a call, and maybe we can meet up, because I see you out here taking action, and those are the people I go for, people that are taking action.
Mm,
Um, yep. So I have people in the Facebook groups, and I'll see them say, hey, I've got this list. I've called. I made contact with a seller, and I say, did you say this to him? Did you say that to him? And they're like, oh my God, that works. And I'm like, yeah, it does. So
wow.
and then what I'll do is I'll do hashtags in my posts. So my local people, when they hashtag such as Philly real estate, you'll see me at the closing table. Boom, another one done. And it's just boom. With this person, close, and that takes time to do that. So that's how I really do it. I post in social media what I'm doing. I reach out to people, and I really just look out to help people every day. Even with the sellers, I just look out, who can I help today? Who can I help today?
Mm,
Somebody's got my money. How can I help them?
beautiful, man. So you're mostly going after the side of finding people that have deals locked up, and then you're basically helping them get the cash buyer with that deal.
And yeah, for the most part, and or just have leads coming in, that they're hunting for leads. They're out there doing the work. I had this one person saying, "Oh, I started texting. I got people on the hook. I just don't know where to go from there. My mentor's too busy for me." And I'm like, "And you paid him? Come over here. Let's just make money together. I got your hand. Just give me your hand. We'll walk you to the finish line." So
Wow.
I see you out there putting the work in. I'm putting the work in every day.
Wow. I love how you're actually helping people out, right? because I see a lot of people JVing. They want to help, but they don't want to help the person in the market a little too much because they have the, oh, it's my competition, things like that. But you're going out here helping.
Can I speak on that, please, for
Yeah,
one
man.
second?
It's your
So,
podcast.
listen. So with that, I I I'm raising my army, because if you know how I podio, if you know how I convert a lead, we're moving in the same direction at the same time. It's in sync. So I want you to get your legs so you don't need me anymore.
Yeah.
We can make as much money as possible, because eventually I'm leveling up, or I'm already above you here. When you come up here, I should be here. So by the time you're ready to flip apartment complexes, I'll be there waiting for you. And we've already done good business. These are how the people that, taught me how to comp. My buyers like, hey, well, did you think about this cost and that cost? And I'm like, oh, and I just
Mhm.
bring the deal to them first and learn a little more. And then I just take it and run with it. And they
Yeah.
want me to do that. You want people to grow. If you want somebody to stay under you, your mindset is too small. It's enough out here for all of us. It's 2 million people in my city, this city county alone. So it's enough deals out here for all of us.
Yeah, dude. Philly's huge. It's a big market,
It's
man.
small
So
but huge. It's very small but
yeah,
huge.
yeah,
Dog.
man.
Sorry about that.
So one also thing I want to bring up here is you're doing these 18 deals, right? And so if I'm breaking them down, how many of these deals have you find from bandit signs, wholesalers that way, wholesalers from Facebook, Instagram? Like, what's a good split of ways you're finding these wholesalers to do JV
I
deals
think
with?
I think I think majority come from the social media, the
Really?
posting. Yeah, yeah. The posting and just me catering to my network. I'm really one of those big, when you get in this business, go to your phone and let everybody know you're looking to buy an ugly house or you're looking to get into this business. I'm a big component of that. I know that works.
Okay. So if somebody's looking to get into JVing in the market, so let's say they live in Houston, and
Hmm.
let's say there's a twin you, right, and another Ralph. You throw them into Houston. What are you going to do to get as many JVing deals as possible if you lived in Houston right now?
Social media, social media. Search the hashtags. Um, do as far as, so for, if it was me looking to do business,
Yeah.
yeah. So I would social media, and then look up the people who are using the same hashtag,
Mm.
reach out to them, slide in their DMs. Um, and first I would comment on their post, because my inbox is going to go right to the spam. So on their last post, I'll say, hey, check your inbox, and then from there they'll look at the inbox. Um, Also, drive around, call those bandit signs. Um, put out ghost ads if need be, to contact the cash buyers, and this way you can see what they're buying. But you have software for that, so you don't need to
Yeah.
do that. But that gets you in contact and direct connect with them, because if not, then you got to search MLS and probably go through their realtor who wants a piece of the deal and won't give you direct connect. You need to get right to the source. So just have your phone blowing up and be blowing people phone up consistently every day on both sides, buyers and sellers, and you just hunting.
Definitely. And so when it comes to the JV agreement, what kind of agreements are you having with these sellers, with these wholesalers? 50-50? Are you splitting it? What are you having
Yeah.
the wholesaler sign?
So I've came to like a percentage. So there's like just a flat fee. Here you go. If you want to just give me a name and number and say, hey, good luck. If you want to be a part of the deal, you put the work in 50-50. That's for the most part. And if
Yeah.
let's say you're experienced but you don't have a buyer's list, I'm also licensed, so we're able to put properties up, MLS, whatever, as long as you state that it's an assignment, and you already know how to convert sellers. 25%, assignment fee go to me. You did 75% of the work. The hard part is just selling it.
Oh, wow. So how did you find a broker that's letting you list these properties
My
that are
broker was a
wholesale?
buyer
Really? Wow.
who bought one of my deals from me, and he was a teacher at heart. So he really taught. He saw my enthusiasm of teaching and said, "Hey, can you come help teach at the brokerage?" And that's what I do. I help teach, real estate with the
Wow.
realtors that we work with, and pretty much convert them to be, users of their own supply.
Wow.
You're doing real estate. Why are you not buying real estate?
Hmm.
That should be your retirement goal.
Yeah, that's important, I think, because a lot of real estate agents, it's hard to find a broker that's okay with wholesaling, as the case you putting the property on the market. It's not about the MLS. It's more about the broker that's allowing it. So that's pretty. You just found it from a cash buyer. That's crazy.
Crazy. It was crazy. He actually walked me through my deal because I came out of my county. He was like, "Hey, did you reach
Wow.
out to such?" He said, "Did you get the tax cert?" I was like, "No." He was like, "Here's the link. Talk to you
Wow.
later." And me, I'm a go getter. Once you guide me in the right direction, I'm
Mm.
gone. You give me information, I'm using it. I learned that that's the best way. Knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is the power. Once you have the knowledge, you need to use the knowledge because if you don't, you like a Ferrari park.
Yeah,
Honestly,
you're true, man.
all that horsepower, no go.
Yeah.
For real.
So let's talk about finding buyers for a second here. So if you had your 18 deals, where the majority of the time you're finding these cash buyers?
So what I love to do, my best one is mailers and the buyer in that same zip code. So if you find the buyer in that same zip code, chances are they know that area like the back of their head. So I
Yeah.
call out an address. They're like, I did the one around the corner. I'll take that off your hands for X without even seeing it. And they see the pictures, they can maybe come up a little more. They say, "Ooh, I may need a little more off," and they're more dialed in. And especially such as occupy property until time of settlement. I don't have time to bring looky loose through, and maybe this is my first one. This is my first time using this hard money lender. Don't have no connection with them. Not sure. I don't have my contractors lined up. You don't have time. So that's why I really focus on the buyers and where they are in their career, what they do. A lot of these guys are contractors. They own construction companies, um, or they just massively do a lot of deals. Just do
Okay.
deals.
So specifically, let's talk about Khalil's deal. How did you find the cash buyer for that one?
This guy just bought two properties prior to in that same area. He just
So
bought
how did you
my
find him?
friend. He came from a referral from another buyer that
How did you
I
find that
mailed.
buyer?
I mailed within the same zip code and met this guy. We hit it off,
Oh,
real
through
cool
direct
dude,
mail?
through direct mail,
Cash sales or for sellers?
cash sales.
Oh, so you're sending mail out to cash sales. What do those mail pieces say?
It's a big picture of the property, you know, for assignment sale price, and then after they,
Wow.
after the next page, it's first because it's a beautiful Staples color copy of the photo of the first photo, as
Wow.
if you saw it right in Zillow, and then it has all my contact info, and then on the next page it says, "I see you may do some real estate investing. If you're interested in this deal or any deals like this, feel free to reach out. Here's my contact information again. Text
Wow.
or
And
call, Ralph."
how many do you usually send out to get a deal sold?
I usually go back within 1 year of that same zip code. So that could be anywhere from 150 to 200. 250 has probably been like the most. So when I
Yeah.
have a property, I'll go right into that zip code because that's who I want. I want the person that wants that deal. Um,
Wow, man.
yeah.
That's
So
easy. There's
that's
no
how I do
cold
it.
calling involved. I mean, it costs a little bit. Not really too crazy though. Like you really think
No,
of it, it's not nuts. 100, $200.
exactly. And now I got $1 million in my phone from 15 cash buyers calling. I'm
Wow,
sitting on
man.
$1 million from $200.
That's
I can walk up
dude.
in a seller house and say, "Hey, John, we want this one." "Oh, hell yeah, Ralph, give it up." And I'm
So
like,
is that
"Yeah,
how
so
you find the majority of your buyers?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah." Because
What got you?
I know they're both. I know they purchased. I
Mm,
know it's a sale purchase. It's shown. It's proven. These buyers are solid. They're
yeah,
not they're not really new. They know what they're doing.
true. You got some experience on them. So what's your process for making sure the buyer's legit? Like obviously you know that they're buying properties, but how do you figure out if they're good for wholesaling? Like with sellers, assignments, things like that.
I ask them. I ask them. You got a problem with me making money? If not, I'm not your guy
Yeah.
because we all got to make money. So
Do you have buyers that have
that's
a problem with it?
that's no, no.
Yeah.
A lot of them say, as long as my numbers work, and the ones that do have a problem, see you later,
Yeah.
bye,
That's
boom.
it.
Because
You
I
know
don't
how to
need
do it,
you.
man. Yeah. So
I was so timid at that at one point in time, and I was just like, oh, big bad cash buyer, and now I'm cash buyer, and
yeah.
I'm like, I like it. Come on, let's do it. Let's do what's the number. So I just everything I've done, I do what I always wanted. So I sell to people the way I wanted to be sold. Um, you know, I'm not the best with the bidding wars. Sometimes you have to do those.
Yeah.
Um, so that's necessary. And I let them know. I said, hey, you didn't get the blast because this is an MLS for dirt cheap. So
Mm,
I'm not gonna blast you a deal that I'm gonna bid you on. When I send
mm.
you the deal, here's my price. If you like it, you like it. You don't, you don't.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about the last part here. Let's just walk through one deal example, right? So let's break down your last wholesaling deal you've done. What is the process from start to finish of you JVing a deal with somebody? Just so people can
Making
get a
contact.
visual on it.
Making contact and having that conversation before we go any further. Am I the person you want to do this deal with? Are you willing to be open and honest with me? Because I am a glass window.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull back the curtain for you, show you odds is real, and we're gonna do this deal. I had a person reach out to me and they said, Ralph, I know you the guy, you do the deals. I got the seller. I said, well, what's the address? I don't want to give it to you. How am I supposed to help you?
Yeah.
You trust me, you know me, and you like me. Why do you not want to give me the information? Well, I don't want you to steal the deal. If you feel that way, we don't need to do business. Simple as that. And he said, you're right. Here's the info. We jumped on the phone. I said, she was like, he's ready to do it. He's ready to do it, but the number's not right. I talked to him. He was underwater. He couldn't do it.
Mm.
And after I spoke to him, she said, oh my God, being able to be on that three-way call was the best thing ever in my life. And I'm like, that's what you get running with experience. Let me show you.
Yeah. So the three-way call, is that a call between you, the wholesaler, and the seller?
Yep. I said I sell this wholesaler. I say, call your seller. Say, can I get my partner on the phone? We're going to three-way in because I want their permission. Because if I
Mm.
get their contact info, there's no secret. Once you come into my podio, you can see me walking through the deal. You'll see me
Yeah.
touching your lead. You'll see me, making doing. You'll see everything happen. So I don't need no secrets. I don't need you
Mm.
to think I'm snaking you to the finish line. It's too much money out here for me to have
Yeah.
and anything I do wrong is going to put a bad name on me.
Sure.
You don't get
So
18 deals from doing people wrong.
sure. What's the process on the three-way call? Just to get the seller comfortable with who you are and your process.
Um, I just say, hey, we're looking to buy. Where are you in this? What's going on? And once
Okay.
they run down the story, I've heard it so many times. Years of experience, and it's like, okay, well, I'll either tell them a story and say, well, with the last person we did this, day, and the third, and that didn't really turn out too well, so you might want to do it this way,
Mm.
or I say, this is what I really recommend right here. I don't go in just knowing it all. I'm like a doctor when I come in. I say,
Yeah.
what hurts? Can you raise it up? Can you move it? All right, let's test it. And that's how I run my business. It's like I don't want to just pound it down your throat because
Yeah.
then you're like, whoa, 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 not for me. So
Okay. And so you get the three-way call, you get the seller comfortable, you sign the JV agreement. Do you guys just keep it with yourselves? Do you send that JV agreement to the title company? How do you make sure you guys are both getting paid the right way?
oh yeah, it'll definitely go to the title company. So
Okay.
get the agreement of sale signed. And even with the agreement of sale, I'll either put it on the agreement of sale, and or just have an assignment a JV agreement if only one of us had the agreement of sale, and just get them both to the title company. And then along with the assignment, that'll be a third contract for that.
Okay. And then when it comes to walking through with a buyer, are we once you find the buyer, let's say from a mail piece, do you call the seller? Do you have your other partner call the seller? Like how does that go through the walkthrough?
I try to make contact with the seller, and everything will depend, right? So it'll
Mm.
depend if it's vacant on lockbox, no need to contact the seller because we're
Mm.
already coming
Yeah.
consistently. If it's with if the seller is there, I can either send the buyer and or depending on my relationship, go and meet with the buyer. So and a lot of times I try to like with my newer people, they don't really know how it looks. So I want you to be there. I say, hey, can you make it too?
Mm.
It'd be good if you get to meet such and such, and because we all want you to bring in deals because it benefits all of us,
Yeah.
each one to each one.
Sure, man.
So
So and then what's the conversation with the seller for you to bring the buyer through? So do you say it's a partner? Do you say it's a contractor? What's kind of your story with it?
I'm bringing my partners, my contractors, my lenders. This is how we're going to get it done. This is
Simple.
my partner's going to help me take it to the finish line. A lot of times they won't question you
Yeah. You just get through. And are you going in person with the buyer?
if need be. If need be.
So sometimes you just bring the buyer through.
Yeah.
Not you there?
Some with some of my people, like I said, my relationships is business. My business is relationships. So I have a strong enough relationship with a lot of my buyers to just send them.
Yeah.
There's the
Wow.
trust. I don't need to hold your hand. You've done this enough times.
True.
Because if I start throwing dirt on their name, people will believe me.
Yeah. It's true, man. I mean, your experience is good, dude. Like you can start JVing deals, and I want everyone to understand that. Like you could start finding people in your market and start JVing deals with that, right? And obviously, it's a little better if you got 18 JV deals on your belt, like you, maybe a little more trusted, but just get started out there, right? So you're looking to do some more JV deals. So if
For
someone's out
sure.
here looking to do some JV deals in what area? Philly or
Philly,
like
the
Philly?
whole Philadelphia County. I do a little of surrounding, but mostly Philly. That's my bread and butter. That's what I know. Remember, mind you, Zach, I still work a full-time job driving a
Yeah,
city transit bus. So I'm 5 p.m. to 3 a.m. at work, up 8 o'clock, and all day from the time my eyes open till they close. Real estate is life.
I love it,
So
man. So if you want to reach out to Ralph, that's his IG right there, Ralph underscore Pena 215. And then get her done home buyers at Gmail if you got a deal for him in the Philly area. And he can go out there and help you JV the deal. Ralph, do you have any parting thoughts for the audience before we hop off?
reach out to me. I know I'm big on watching podcasts, YouTube, and it's a little intimidating reaching out to these big guys. I'm not one of them. Even when I get there, I'll be there to reply to your text. Just make sure you say, hey, this is where I found you. I don't like when people just reach out randomly with a question and there's no hello. I hate that.
Yeah,
Let me know where you heard me. How can I help you? Even if you like my story, just say, yo, I love that. Keep going. Boom. I appreciate it. I really do. And I reply. I do the same thing to people.
beautiful, man. So Ralph, thank you so much. Hopefully you guys can start getting a little more information out. You can start JVing deals and you can sort of be like Ralph and get some deals done. Ralph, thank you so much for hopping on. I really appreciate it. Can't wait to see your
I
success
appreciate
next
you.
year. Thanks,
Thanks,
Ralph.
man.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Later.